you had any hope that Nintendo might do online right this time around, you are a more optimistic person than me. Because, well, it doesn't look like they will. Let's talk about Switch Online. Again. I will preface this by saying I absolutely love my Switch. Ever since I bought it, I barely even look at my PS4 anymore. That's all I play, that's all I care about. I love the system. I'm not a hater, and I'm not out to just demonize Nintendo, but I have to say, it is disappointing that all of the things we feared became reality. So in its latest Nintendo Direct, the company finally gave us the details on Switch Online, which is about to come out. It's weird that they waited for the very month when the service launches to actually tell us what we're getting. And we're not getting much. Also weird considering they delayed the service for an entire year. This thing was supposed to come out last year. They waited 1 extra year. So what do we get for this for this wait? Of course, you're going to need to pay for this service to play most of the games that you want to play online. There are some exceptions like Fortnite. You're not going to need a Switch Online account to play Fortnite online. And this is probably going to be true for some other games as well. I believe Paladins, a lot of these third-party games, apparently, they're exempt from this necessity, which is great if you like those games. But if you're looking to get your Mario Kart fix, or as is the case for most people, Smash, they got you in a vice grip. You're going to give them your money for Switch Online. There's no way around it. Now, because this channel is mostly focused on retro gaming, the part that appealed to me the most, or that would appeal to me the most, if Nintendo actually leveraged their library. Classic Nintendo games. As we have known, Nintendo killed the Virtual Console brand, which is sad, but they supposedly were going to give us something better, something more like, say, Netflix for retro gaming. Of course, easier said than done when it comes to Nintendo. So, with your Switch Online account, you get access to 20 NES games. This number will increase in the future. Now, I will commend them for trying something like this, because this is what I've always wanted. I've been playing emulators, and I've been buying things like this when they offer them, right? The SNES Classic. But what I really wanted is a robust Virtual Console-like offering for my Switch. That's what that's all I want. That's all I want. They're giving us NES games, which at this point are some 30 years old by now. Nobody's really that excited about NES games. We've been able to emulate those things forever, but they're trying. I'm gonna give them that. I'm gonna be nice. They're trying. There is one fundamental problem with this approach, though. The Switch will need to check in with Nintendo's servers once a week to verify your account, or you lose access to your NES games. Why? The smallest amount of time that you can purchase Switch Online is 1 month. Why would they need to check in 4 times in that month to make sure that your account is valid? They ought to know that your account is valid for another month. I don't see how this benefits Nintendo in any way. Like, again, it's NES games. It's NES games. This creates a lot of problems for people who travel a lot or don't have constant access to the internet. Say if you're going on a cruise or whatever, if you're going abroad for more than a week and you don't have easy access to an internet connection on your Switch, you simply lose access to your NES library even though you already paid for it. I don't understand what's the benefit here. It seems so anti-consumer. It creates a problem for legitimate consumers that like your stuff, that gave you money for that. Imagine the last time your Switch touched base with Nintendo servers was like 4 days ago, and then you fly tomorrow. Now, it's what, 2 days that you have to enjoy the games that you paid for. Even if you pay up front a whole year, it's gonna be checking every week to make sure that your account is valid. Seriously, what is the point of this? I don't understand. When I brought this up on Twitter, a lot of my friends have mentioned that, like, oh, who cares? Like, you have internet everywhere. Like, if you're traveling, just walk to the nearest McDonald's and connect, and then verify the connection and verify the whatever, and then now you have access again. You're missing the point. They gain nothing, from my point of view, from doing this. They're only harming legitimate consumers who, for some reason or another, couldn't connect to the internet within that time frame. This is really disappointing, and I hope they're just testing the waters, and then they're gonna bring us something cooler in the future, like, say, SNES games. That'd be great. The fear I have is that the reaction people are showing is so negative, that I think that Nintendo, being stubborn as they are, will see this not as indication that they need to improve the service, but that people don't want it. And then they're gonna make it worse somehow. It's perhaps impossible to make Switch Online worse than it already is. Maybe when you sign up, you get a kick in the balls. That's what Switch Online will be in 2019. Oh, and about those NES games, they are also offering this controller bundle. It's an NES-inspired Switch controller that attaches to the side of the Switch to charge and look ridiculous. And you can play your NES games with these controllers. They cost $60, and when you consider that they only sell them to people who have Switch Online subscriptions, and the cheapest you could buy Switch Online for is for a year, that's $20. These controllers are effectively $80. $80 for a pair of NES controllers that only work with the NES games that you get with Switch Online. Nothing else. And I'll give you that. They are NES controllers. There isn't much more you could use them for, but when you can get something like these guys right here, 8-bit Does, they're Bluetooth controllers that work with the Switch, they have more buttons, have more functionality, are overall better. This guy's like $35, I think, and works with your phone, your computer, with everything. I don't see this as anything else than Nintendo just saying, you know what, these suckers will probably buy it, so screw it. I'm not gonna, your nostalgia, I bought this thing. I bought a lot of things around my office because of nostalgia. You're not getting me this time, Nintendo. You're not, I'm making a stand. This is the line in the sand. I'm not buying those stupid controllers. Hey, you know what? If you guys like him, if you're a collector, that's cool. I'm not saying you're stupid for buying it or anything. Not for this guy, that's all I'm saying. Cloud save data, so, oh, and by the way, I feel like I should throw this, going back to the thing with connecting with every week to check in with if your games are valid or whatever. PSN doesn't do that, and Xbox Live doesn't do that. So you can't even say, oh, but everybody else does it. No, they don't. Pretty sure Steam doesn't do that either. And this system is even dumber on a console that isn't always tethered to your router. My PS4 is always connected to the internet. My computer, Steam, always connected to the internet. It makes a little more sense in those platforms. On a portable, not as much. Anyway, going back to cloud save data. We didn't have cloud save data up until now. If you lose your Switch, that's too bad. All your progress in Breath of the Wild or whatever, it's gone. Start from the beginning. You're gonna go back to wearing short shorts. Problem is, not every game is gonna support this feature, and Nintendo isn't being very clear about what happens to your save data once your subscription runs out. And you might be thinking, well, you're paying for that. If you're not paying for it anymore, you don't get that. Yes, but consider that other systems will maintain your save data indefinitely even if you cancel, like the PSN or Xbox Live. They don't just get rid of your save data. That'd be kind of crazy, because what if you just couldn't pay that month? You probably still want your save games. Voice chat through that stupid app. Okay, what the hell, Nintendo? Seriously. The Switch has Bluetooth. For some Nintendo reason, it doesn't allow your Switch to connect to any Bluetooth device at all. So you can't, I use a lot of Bluetooth headphones here, as you know, and I can't use them with my Switch. Disappointing considering it has Bluetooth, it just doesn't support the feature arbitrarily. It also means that there's this insane workaround to talk to people that you play your games with. When I play with my girlfriend, we call each other on Telegram, and I guess we just used to that because we just kind of accept it. That's Nintendo for you. What upsets me is that they're trying to spin this into a selling point, like they're trying to argue that this is a more convenient way to play a game and talk to your friends as you're playing the game. That is crazy. At least there's going to be a 1-week free trial, which I will sign up for. Everybody's gonna sign up for. When Smash comes out, a lot of people will just, that's it. I think maybe that's why Nintendo is doing this, because they know that people will want this, and so they don't need to offer that much more. And if they wait a whole year, screw it, you're gonna wait a whole year. Some people are saying, you know what, the fact that they waited a whole extra year means you get to play online games for free for another year. So if you want to turn this into a positive, that's a good way to look at situations. That's a good way to be a happier person in general. So let's go with that. At least we got to play online on our Switches for an entire extra year for free. I'll give you that. But I'm still pretty unhappy with Switch Online, and it seems like a lot of people are too. So I pass the question off to you. How do you feel about this? Is this exactly what you expected out of Nintendo? You didn't expect anything more, so this is just whatever, I'll play Mario Kart and Smash, and I'll pay the $20 a year. It isn't much, you're right. Or are you upset that Nintendo is doing this? Based from the reactions I saw online, I think you're gonna be on the second camp. I think you're, like me, a little miffed that this is what we waited for, one whole extra year. You see, this is what's maddening about the situation. This way of trying to spin this into a positive, by going like, well, when you think about it, you got to play for free one extra year. That's really messed up when you think about it, because what you're saying basically is, hey, it's a good thing they didn't give us the service for an extra year. We could avoid the service for another year. It's like the service is punishment, not a feature. Think about it. When I wanted this thing to come out, it's because I wanted it. I want to pay for this. I want to be a user. I want to use this thing. If the best possible way to frame this fiasco is by saying, hey, at least we managed to avoid this whole thing for one extra year, think about it. Anyway, that's what I think, and maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, or so I've been told. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, what do I say again? Oh yeah, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell, put comments down there, talk to me on social media. I'm always on Twitter, always on Instagram. Love to hear back from you guys. Love to know where you guys are from. And that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy, and I'm done.